Hi everyone, let's talk about Trickerion and its expansion Dahlgaard's Academy, which is on Kickstarter right now, and you can click the link in the description to go to the campaign page and see more about it. Or I did a massive playthrough that will tell you something about it as well. So Trickerion, I was a backer for this originally, showing off the box sleeve for it, but underneath it looks similar to this expansion box. Anyway. So yeah, it was something I was really excited about. It was probably one of the first few board game Kickstarters I backed. Was really excited and yeah, drawn in by the theme, this kind of prestige, magicians, not in training, but magicians vying for supremacy, vying for fame and fortune, really like the theme. The artwork as well was really striking on the campaign page, and yeah, the ambitions for it, and when it came, it delivered on those ambitions. It's got really nice, a really high standard of production that Mind Clash has now become known for. They've done Anachrony since that had just as beautiful things in the miniatures that you slot workers into, and again the artwork of the game. And they've got Cerebria coming up, which I haven't played but looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah, they've really kind of set a name for themselves as people that really care about the production of their games as well as the gameplay, because yeah, this is definitely one of the heavier games that we've got, and when we don't get that much chance to go back to games with the videos that I make, but when we do, Trickerion does get overlooked often because it is a very long game and it's a very heavy game, but it's one that I always want to keep around, because when it does come to those times that we actually get to play it, it's probably the only thing we're going to play that day. But yeah, it's a really fantastic experience. I love being these magicians, scrabbling together these components and trying to learn these tricks, trying to work out the path that you're going to take through your little menu of magic tricks or illusions to try and make the best performance. And yeah, trying to see which spaces are available on the performance cards, trying to get all of the links together, trying to keep up with the components you need to go along this path, trying to get the right assistance. There's just so much going on in it. It's definitely with the playtime as well as the complexity, it feels like you are completely, your mind is fried at the end of it. But while everything's kicking, it is just a really fantastic, brain-burning game. And yeah, there's so many kind of extra things on top of it that you can play it without the Dark Alley stuff, the prophecies and the special assignment cards that were in the playthrough. There is another thing called Magician's Powers, where the shards become things you can use to unlock special abilities that you are kind of forging a certain path for your magician. I didn't include those in the playthrough because I hope you'll agree that it was enough what I did in that. And now it's got this Dahlgaard's Academy. And so I was a little bit wary going in that we're gonna add more to think about in Trickerion, but I didn't feel like, maybe I'm just maxed out on things going on and it didn't feel overwhelming or anything. It just feels like another route that you can take rather than another thing that you have to constantly be aware of. You do, it's nice to be aware of the things. Somebody could open a classroom. If you don't want to go for building, you're going a different route. Someone might open a classroom and you want to go over there now to start teaching and start getting the income. They've built it for you. Or maybe you want extra yield on your tricks. You don't have to be the person building, although it helps because it's a fair chunk of points at the end of the game if you've contributed enough, and the return you'll get for doing the building is quite a lot as well. The protege is a really nice touch, because not only is it giving you a bit of a leg up at the very start of the game, you've got an extra worker that you don't have to pay for, but he gets those extra actions as he goes along. He gets a bigger head and needs to be paid more, but yeah, you'll make your own unique protege that is really strong in certain areas. Like Marty's was really good and needed to be on the setting up the tricks. Mine was a bit of a mishmash. I didn't do mine that well, but he was free. He did a lot of actions and he was free. That was the most important thing for mine. But yeah, the new magicians, it's just nice having extra powers, and yeah, mine really relates to the academy. Marty's was just, get the tricks out as much as possible. It's just nice to have the variety to mix in to the base game, and yeah, they don't add a ton more tricks or anything like that. It's just the powers that you need to be aware of. And then it's got a whole extra thing that I can't really speak about, but it's worth mentioning, that it's got a solo mode. I haven't got the components, so I haven't been able to try that myself. But yeah, it's been developed along with the expansion by David Turczi, who has done solo things for many, many, many games, a lot of which are coming out this year. He did one for the Teotihuacan, which I was told in the comments how to pronounce and I've forgotten already. I'm sorry. But yeah, he's done loads of stuff. His name's all over games. But yeah, as I said, it didn't really feel like, oh, well, this is too much to bear now. I think it was already at that level. It just adds a nice new element here to think about with your protege that you probably want to get in on at some point, but also with the building the classrooms and getting paid for that, both at the time and at the end of the game, and being able to do something with all of your stuff, like these early tricks, being able to turn them into a standard income that keeps going throughout the game. And if you got a 36 trick, as soon as you got up there, and maybe it gives you, a certain amount of fame, well, you could go for the fame only classroom and get a big payoff every single round for the last 4 or whatever will be left. Yeah, it's just more options for you. Sending a lot of the things, can you see that I've been filming for a long time today? You don't have to be scrabbling for the spaces on these performances necessarily. It's not that you don't have to do any of that, but you don't entirely have to do that anymore. You can explore these other ways or do some practice and get some boosts for the tricks that you are doing that with. It's just, another path to go down that is a little bit to think about, but yeah, there's already so much going on that it's just more to chew over. That's a terror. I didn't want to use that phrase. You see me scrabbling to think of another phrase than that. Yeah, I was already really, really taken with Trickerion as it is. As I said, it's absolutely longer. We aren't very fast players in particular, but it does take us probably 2.5 hours to play in a 2-player game. And yeah, it's definitely one where we're worn out. We need to not play games after this. But on those rare occasions when we do get it out, it is a real treat. And I appreciate that there's going to be a solo option in there, and that it's getting it's still getting stuff made for it. But the playthrough is there. There is a lot of playthrough, I would imagine, to watch, and there is a lot of campaign page to read through probably, and all of that can tell you more. I can just tell you what I thought of me playing it. But yeah, that's Trickerion and its expansion, Dahlgaard's Academy. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye.